This is a sample game turn of the game Warriors of God by MMP Games. It's about the 100 Years' War. And one of the things I like about this game is that the randomness of the leader deaths can really change your strategy as you play the game. So you've got to watch all your leaders as they're coming in the next turn and make sure that they can possibly cover leaders that you're counting on doing attacks and such this turn. But for tonight, we're just going to look over a sample turn, and I've typed up a sample turn in advance to make this thing a little smoother. So for the purpose of this game, the English will roll first, and according to the sequence number at the bottom of the chart will be announced as each play is done. As you can see, we determine initiative, and then that will determine how many action impulses we can do for the turn. Conduct action impulses, resolve battles, determine control of areas, raise troops, and place the mercenaries, deploy troops and recruit mercenaries, dispose of captured leaders, determine leader death, place leaders on the board, and dispose of unassigned troops, and then we'll adjust the score. So first we'll do initiative. The English roll first, and they roll a 3. The French roll next, and they roll a 1. So since the kings are in their homelands, they get a +1 to their roll. So essentially, the English rolled a 4, and since they won the initiative, they will get a 4. And the reason for that is you take the lower of the two rolls, which is the 1, and you get +1 for the king, which is 2, and then the winner of the initiative gets +2, and the loser of the initiative gets +1. So that way there's always just a 1 difference in the impulses. So it's always 4-3, 3-2, etc. like that. Keeps it fair. So we go down to the bottom, we right-click on the initiative marker and set the French to the non-initiative, and then we adjust the markers accordingly to what we just rolled. And now we choose the non-aligned leaders. Now looking at the board here at the top, the ones with the black stripe are the non-aligned leaders. The ones with the colored stripes, the blue, are the French, and the red are the English, and they stay that way. The non-aligned leaders are picked at the beginning of each, or during the leader deployment phase, and since the French lost the initiative, they will go first, and they will choose Charles de Blois. So next, the English will take Charles and Brittany, and now the impulses are used. Now there's 3 things you can do. You can move a leader according to the restriction for borders. Some of the borders, such as this one, are considered impassable, and you can only move 1 leader across. Rivers, you can move 3 leaders across, and a clear border, you can move 2 leaders across at a time. So as the game gets more people on it, it'll get more crowded. And you can also remove enemy influence if you have more troops than your opponent in an area. So you'll notice the blue lines here. Units can move across these channels to make it a lot faster. So moving to here is 1 impulse, and if he went across by land, it would cost him 2, 3 to get to here. And you can see his symbol here on his shield matches the one down here. So what he's trying to do is get down to this area. If he is in this area at the end of his turn, he automatically gains control of it. That's considered his home territory. If he gains control of that territory, he gets 3 troops automatically, and that can go under either a new leader's assignment under the new leader, or assigned to him at the end of the turn during the leader assignment phase. Now the French do their movement. So you can see that Flanders is the home country of this one, this unit here. So he may want to consider moving that up to the left there to get the automatic control of that area. If they happen to get into an area that the shields do not match, they have to roll for initiative. Or, I'm sorry, roll for control. Since that leader has 1 star on it, he would have to roll a 1. Somebody with a 3 star would have to roll a 1, 2, or 3. So it's going to be difficult for him to get control of an area, but that is a 3-star country, which allows you to get 3 troops and also gives you 2 VP at the end of the game, or at the end of the turn. Okay, so John Chandler's from England, moved to Aquitaine, and he's probably going to try to hold there just to gain that area and get the 2 VP at the end and the 3 troops. Okay, during my log I set this guy up to go to Burgundy instead, which is a mistake on my part. As you can see, his shield does not match, so he will not automatically get control of that area, but he will have to roll for it. There's no battles for this to resolve, so early in the game you probably don't want to battle too much because it has some serious effects on you. Right now you're doing a lot of building up, but it's up to you, whatever you want to do. So now we're going through the area of control and determining if the shields match, it's automatic control. If the shields do not match, we're going to do a roll. So Lewis and Burgundy is going to roll a 1 to gain control. He does not, so he does not get control. That means he does not get his troops for that area automatically. Now the other areas that do have control, the area marker on the side of them, the Roman numeral 2 here, that's how many troops he'll get automatically assigned to him. And if you click on the pieces marker up here and go to units and troops, you'll see the different types of troops here, and you can drag them to the board and right click, increase or decrease. If you're in battle, you can increase and decrease, or you can eliminate a unit too, I believe. Only 2 English longbows are allowed on the board at a time. Only 2 Welsh longbows are allowed on the board. And there's certain rules as far as cavalry goes. I believe you must have a leader of at least 3 stars to be over them in order for them to survive. Okay, so we're deploying troops. And after we deploy the troops, we will roll for leader death. Now, what happens here is you've deployed your troops and you've committed those troops to that area. This is going to be important for you when you look at the units that are coming in, what their strength points are. As you can see, there's a 1 and 2 rank, a 3 rank, and a 1 rank. So that's the number of units they can command. As you lose your units down here, it's going to change your strategy as far as where your leaders were going to go. You know, it might be nice to have a 3 leader in a great attack area, but if somebody dies and you've got lots of troops sitting out there that need to be covered, you're going to have that 3-star covering. Essentially, if he's got 3 stars, he can command up to 9 troops. If you've got 9 troops out there stranded, you might want to try to save those troops with him instead of where you had initially planned them. So we basically go through the leaders and we roll a die, and any leader that hits on a 1, as you can see by the leader death chart here, a 1 is a death. On each turn, you look for the leaders, you look at the number in the top left hand corner. That denotes which marker you look at for the leader death. So as each turn progresses, the older a leader is, the more likely he is to die. So you see a leader who comes in on turn 0, on turn 1 can die with a roll of 1. On turn 2 can die with a roll of 1, 2. Turn 3 he does well 1, 2, 3, and so on. So it gets harder and harder for him to live to an old age due to the Black Plague and things that were going on at that time. So in Aquitaine, we had a roll of a 1, so John Chandros died. Essentially, we couldn't get him saved. I'm sorry. I didn't kill him at first, I just put him to the side, and later on you'll see where I kill him off. So now we're deciding which units we're going to go where to cover the troops that we had created from our controlled areas. And I'm just deciding where those troops need to go, or where the leaders need to go. And now I'm assigning the leaders to troops. And again, the number of troops underneath cannot outweigh the star times 3. So we've got 1 star times 3 is 3 units. We've got 3 units under him. We've got 1 unit under him. It's okay. And we've got 4 under him. He can command up to 9. And you pretty much get the general idea. Now, honestly, I can't remember why I moved that guy to Luxembourg, but we'll just go on. Oh, he was a non-aligned leader that wasn't placed. Since I placed him in Luxembourg, which is his home country, he automatically gets to raise troops. Okay, so now we look at the score. Looking at the board, if you capture an enemy's home territory, if the French captured England or England captured French, you get 1 VP. Any 3 land that is controlled by your team gets 2 victory points, and any 1 or 2 gets 1 victory points. You can press the VP marker at the very top here, and that makes it a lot easier to do the scoring. So at the end, the net result was 1. It's a tug-of-war type game. So if the difference between the two, if the English got 3 and the French got 2, the English will get +1, and that's basically the basic movement for the game. I didn't go into battles. I might be able to do that on another video, but I hope that was enough to get you interested in the beginning. It does get more complex as you add more units, as more leaders die, as more units are stranded onto the fields, and the complication of matching the shields to the areas to give yourself an advantage. There's a lot of good decisions in the game, so I hope you enjoyed the review, and thank you very much for listening.